Today, we are going to answer a question I get asked on a daily basis as a professional player in this game, as a content creator, just as somebody who exists in this game. And it is EUCS or North American CS better at Counter-Strike? And also, we're going to answer, is an EU level 2 Faceit player equal to an NA level 10, right? So besides the memes, guys, we're going to talk about a lot of good stuff and kind of understand what separates the two regions, why it seems like one is way better than the other, and is there any hope for regions outside of EU? We have a lot of exciting stuff to cover today. I cannot wait to get into it. I want to give my take on everything as a player who has, played internationally, played at these levels, and also someone who's saw a lot of stuff, domestically here in North America. So before we get into that, I do have to give you a message to pay my bills to survive. So please support me in that and check it out. Thank you to the sponsor of today's video, Skins Monkey. They are one of the greatest and easiest to use CS2 trading sites out there. You can swap out the skins you do not like for brand new ones that are so much more fresh. Even skins that are trade locked can be secured by adding them to your backpack. The greatest thing about the site is that you can buy skins for so much cheaper with a 35% deposit bonus when you use my code, KOJO. Make sure to check out the freebie section where you can get a free skin just by completing tasks. On top of the bonuses, you also get a $5 bonus when clicking the link in the description. All right, guys, so now that we've paid our bills, we've eaten, we're feeling good, let's talk about EUCS versus NACS. So the first thing I want to answer, and I want to be very clear with this. I want to be so clear, don't want to waste your time. Yes, I believe that European CS is so much better, is so further along than North American CS. Now, does that mean that I think that North American players, North American teams suck or awful or bad? Absolutely not, man. Absolutely not. And one thing that I get so tired of seeing, and so it is funny, and I'll meme about it and I'll laugh about it, but it's just some people actually believe this, and it is so delusional, is guys, a low level European player does not equal a level 10 on Faceit for North America, right? Yes, there is so many better European players. Look at the top players in the world. It's pretty obvious to see, anyone with eyes. And on the flip side, if anyone in North America is sitting there and going, EUCS is not that much better, EUCS is not better than NA, they're lying to you. They are completely lying to you. EUCS is definitely above NACS in pretty much every way we can look at, except maybe communication, which we'll get into later, and that's not even that big of a deal anyways. But so I get it, it's on both ends. There's some delusional North American players as well. We got to throw them out as well. We got to use our brains, we got to think clearly here and just have some critical thinking skills. But what a lot of players get confused about, what a lot of European players don't understand, or viewers, or people who are watching, following the scene, is, dude, a Faceit level 5 is a Faceit level 5. A Faceit level 7 is a Faceit level 7. I've coached hundreds, and I mean hundreds of students, and no matter what region they're from, if they're North America, if they're European, if they're Faceit level 2, they are going to play like a Faceit level 2. Yes, they are going to have different talents, different skills. Everybody is completely different. And I noticed that with European players, they do play a lot different than North American players. There's different styles, there's different ways to go about it. But generally, your level is your level. Now, you've got to understand a very simple concept to think about. And maybe we never thought about this, but it's very simple. Everyone should be able to understand it. And it is the fact that Europe, I want to be clear, Europe has more players in general. They have a bigger population of players than every other region, right? Like a region like North America. So with that, there is going to be more games played. There's going to be more elo to go around. There's going to be players that climb and climb and climb and have higher elo, right? I've struggled here in North America to get past like 4,000 elo, because once you get to the top, you are literally only playing against a tiny pool of players. You're waiting 30 plus minutes to get a game, and it is a miserable experience. If you want to know life and sit there for 2 hours and play maybe one game, sure, but it's just so miserable to sit there and queue. So more games, more opportunity, more ability to play and develop your skills and get better and better and better and higher for most things, right? For most things. I'm not just talking about CS, I'm talking about life in general, for a sport, for a career, for a job, for an industry where there is more people participating in that. Generally, there will be better output, better performance, better people at that, right? It isn't rocket science. And the countries that are desert and tropical islands in the Caribbean, of course they're going to suck at skiing. They're going to be awful at winter sports for the most part. They might have one person that somehow is like good at those, but they are not going to succeed in you know, areas where they don't have a population competing in that. Same thing with CS. North America is not that far behind Europe. They really aren't. Same thing with other regions. It's slowly like everyone is not that far. You're going to see pro teams that can compete no matter what. But Europe is going to have the better players. And honestly, too, they probably have the worst players as well. Like since there's just a bigger population, there is probably probably the worst player in the world at CS, by the way, is probably European. Just because, again, they have a bigger pool of people to select from. So it's one thing I really want to talk about and like help you understand is like why that happens. And we could go into the details. I'll talk about the competitor side of things because it's something that's, you know, really hard. It really is frustrating, and not that North America doesn't have opportunity, right? Because we are so blessed, honestly. There's regions that have so much less opportunity than North America, but I'm going to compare NA to EU. So this is not taking away from any other region. This is not saying that I'm ungrateful for any of the opportunities I've gotten as a competitor, but you've got to realize, man, like, as far as competing goes, how are North American players supposed to develop in a scene where there is very few tournaments, very few opportunity to get officials in, get that high stress, high pressure situation, evolve in that way when, you know, you only have to look forward to a very small amount of events that go on throughout the year, right? So it just like, you know, and that's our own fault. That's nobody else's fault except North America, by the way. I'm not blaming EU. I'm not blaming anyone else. I'm just helping you understand that, like, it's hard as a North American competitor to be purely competing here in NA when you don't have as many tournaments, as many opportunities, as many, like, you know, prize pools, all this good stuff spread out among everybody. And you'll see at the top, I've been successful. I've been unsuccessful throughout my time competing so far. I'm not done competing. I'm probably still going to keep grinding, keep going up. But if I personally was trying to make it tier 1, my only focus in life was to be a purely professional player, why would I not try to do everything I can to go to EU, right? And who knows, maybe in the future I will make that commitment. I will want to just be a player and, you know, forget the YouTube, forget the content, just only compete. I'd go to EU. I think you're wasting your time being in other regions if you're someone who can commit to something like that. So yeah, that doesn't mean, again, that there's not opportunity in NA and Oceania and South America, because there 100% is. It's just going to be much easier when you're in an environment of people that are doing exactly what you're doing. When you have more people like that, a better culture of CS. I've been in Europe. I've seen tournaments over there, and man, you guys just bleed CS. It's beautiful. It's so cool to see. So yeah, I just wanted to give my insight, give my take on it. Maybe the people out there will understand a little bit of the struggles of regions outside of EU. And I hope one day that America does wake up with CS. It doesn't look likely with like the, you know, the culture of US, and we could get into like the can of worms with all that and stuff. But man, there's so many talented players here that just, you know, are looking for that opportunity, looking for that chance to shine. So yeah, but really, I want you to understand an NA level 10 equals an EU level 10. A lot of you guys are delusional if you think that. And yes, NACS is worse than EUCS. You guys are delusional if you think NACS is better in general than EUCS. It's not. You're brainwashed if you think that. So I don't want to just play one side. I'm North American. I'm going to give the honest perspective. And I have a bias towards North American CS. I do. That's my home. That's where I, you know, got all my opportunities. That's where I've thrived, right? So we got to be real, guys. We got to be real. So thank you so much for watching this video. It's kind of a bit of a rant. I don't know really what sparked this, but I see it a lot, so wanted to talk about it. But appreciate all of you guys. Go ahead and check out my second channel where I do daily videos, hands-on activities with students, helping them learn, helping them grow. Appreciate all of you guys for watching this video. Hit the subscribe button, share this with a friend. Let me know down in the comments. I'm really interested to see the comments in this video. I think it's going to be interesting, and maybe we can start some discussions. There's probably going to be people molding on both sides of things, but it'll be very entertaining. So appreciate all of you guys. Peace out. Peace out.